G'day, Luke from Drifta here, and we're in Tokyo, Japan at Snow Peak Headquarter 3, which is a new facility that Snow Peak opened up recently. And I was here a few months ago, and now I've got Jake with me, and we're going to have a meeting with Snow Peak here, and then we're going to drive to Nagata on the northwest coast of Japan and see HQ1, the original headquarters, and meet with Snow Peak and also Uniflame and a few other things. So let's just have a quick look at the new HQ3 display area. Pretty impressive, very impressive building, and let's just give you a bit of an idea what Snow Peak's like over here in Japan. So this is a bit of a conference area. The designers are in the room next door, so the management and designers are in there. And they have functions, staff functions, and I was here 3 months ago and they had a new product launch for 2019, so we held that here and have a look at all their new products. But we might as well have a walk around and show you. There's not a lot, there's not a heap on display, but just some of the more popular things. The clothing in Japan is very popular, they call it their apparel, and Lisa Yamai, which is Toru's daughter. Toru's the original, he's the CEO manager of Snow Peak. His father started Snow Peak, and Toru's been managing the business for many years, and his daughter designs all the apparel range, which is all this here. So it's amazing. It's quite big in Japan and America and Europe, the apparel, and something we haven't really got into because the styles change so quickly and 4 times a year and all the sizes, and it's something we haven't really got into, but very big over here. And Snow Peak's a small company in Japan, but they're a very popular company over here, and Toru is also a very popular CEO in Japan, so they're really batting above their average, I suppose you could say. Doing a lot of collaborations with other famous companies, and a lot happening with Snow Peak. They're a very famous company over here and doing big things, so you can see all the apparel range, and you all know the iron grill table. We're doing a lot of these in Australia. These work so well with our trailers and just camping setups. The Jakara also very popular with the fire pits. This is a table that's been around for a long time, but it's more of a home camp style, table that you'd use at home, of course, and quite expensive stainless steel and hardwood timber. So we've never really imported them before, but beautiful to have on your back deck. This centre section here is like an iron grill table, so all of the IGT stuff fits inside here. There's some timber infills, and you could put a barbecue box in there or chop board, whatever you like, so pretty cool. But I can't remember exactly, they're $3,000 or $4,000 for a big set, but we can get them in, so if anyone's keen, we can import these. It'd be beautiful sitting on the back deck. And Jake was talking about we might grab a couple and see what they're like. This is a new Snow Peak energy drink they've got, collaboration with Suntory. So I don't know if we can get those, Jake, but energy drink. Snow Peak have a huge range of tents, and we're just starting to get more and more into the tents. But have we got these before, Jake?
I think we've got one of them.
Really, this is more of I suppose, like a relaxing cooking tent, keep away from the flies. But one thing, the Japanese are a lot shorter than Australians, say, and a lot of the doorways in the tents are quite low, as you can see. But so have a look at here. We're right in the middle of Tokyo here, right in the centre of Tokyo, and it's an amazing view out there. So you've got Tokyo Tower straight ahead, if you can see that, and out to the left there you've got the new Olympic Stadium just being built. So that's for the 2020 Olympics coming up. And when we hired a car at the airport and drove in here, driving on the left in Japan, which is pretty good, and drove to the middle of Tokyo, and such an organised, beautiful, well laid out, functioning city. You know, just everything's so neat and organised, and it's a cool place to be, Tokyo. You know, you think it's just like, you know, there's 20 million people, and you think it would just be chaotic, but it's not. It's, you know, everything is so well run and so well organised that we just drove straight in here, no worries. Last night we got in the subway and, you know, went to Yurikuchi, was it?
Yurikuchi.
Some famous place where it's underneath the subway. Well, there's an overhead rail line and all little bars and clubs, or little pubs. And we had a meal there, a few beers, and yeah, it's a cool spot, you know. Have a look at this side. I should show you this. We bought a few samples to show Snow Peak guys some of our stuff. But this is a lot of what we're doing now is the orange trim on our boot liner bags. And what else have we got? Tool rolls, going to show them that. And we bought me a good old Drifta stubby holder. Don't leave home without that. And yeah, these are for the Coleman gas cans, so nice orange trim, selling a ton of these, and starting to send a lot to America too. So they a gas can sleeve for the Coleman gas canisters, which are sort of being used here as well with the gas stoves. And look at that, these new bags, just a carry bag, pink. You got pink or orange, a few different colours. So cool, these bags. So that's just a shopping bag style, but it's got a bit extra coloured trim and a little pocket in there as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're starting to do a lot more of that black style with the coloured trim. Have a look out this side here. So you can see the other side of Tokyo, that's a massive park there, quite a famous park with a shrine, and yeah, I mean you can see the size of the city. Yeah, so well, that's a little quick look at Snow Peak Headquarter 3. We're going to jump in the car now and drive northwest across the mountains to Niigata, where HQ1 and HQ2 is. So HQ2 is a big new facility now. They opened, I think, 2 years ago, where they do all their dispatch from, and HQ1 is the original facility where they, you know, the home base sort of thing, and that's where the big campground is as well, and where they originally made their fire pits and stuff. So we'll show you those. It's about a 5-hour drive, and we're going to be there tonight and have dinner with Yuri, who's the Snow Peak manager that we mostly deal with, and Tucker. So we'll show you a bit of that when we get there. No worries. Thanks very much. Righto, so here we are in Niigata, northwest Japan, at Snow Peak Headquarters, and it's become now Headquarters 1. They've got a second Headquarter 2, which we're going to look at tomorrow, which is their big dispatch. And Headquarters 3 was in Tokyo, we saw yesterday. So yeah, very impressive building, this one, and Toro's designed it with some help from some other designers and a fair bit of inspiration from Steve Jobs as well, I think. and yeah, beautiful building. So that's it down behind us, and it's a little bit out of town, sort of 10 k's in the middle of nowhere really, and but this is an old golf course, and it's also a camping ground, so a lot of Snow Peak fans come here and camp, and you know, there's a nice shop in there, or Snow Peak shop of course. So yeah, we're going to walk up, have a quick look at the building and the shop, and there's not a lot of people camping here at the moment. It's during the week and it's sort of raining, but we might be able to have a look at a couple of campsites and show you a bit of the building. No worries. Yeah, you can see all these beautiful glass panels, and such a nice building. And yeah, I mean, we come across Snow Peak in America about 6 years ago now. I was in America and selling a little Drifta kitchen at a small overland rally in northwest America, and yeah, come across the Snow Peak fire pit. So that's where we found Snow Peak, and it was just a perfect little fire pit. And I bought it and contacted Snow Peak, and you know, asked if we could sell them, and yeah, that's where it sort of all started. And it wasn't long after that that we came to Japan and met Snow Peak here about 6 years ago, and saw what it was all about. And to really get a feel and understanding about Snow Peak, you sort of got to come here and have a look, because it's you know, it's got a cult following in Japan, and it's an amazing company. Got a long history, been going 60 years now. So Toru's, you know, the CEO, manager of the company now. His father started it originally 60 years ago, building hiking, climbing and mountaineering gear, and grown into a very impressive company. So yeah, you can see a bit of the campground over there, and we'll keep walking around and have a look. Yeah, so beautiful location here, you can see in Niigata, and yeah, this is where the fire pits used to be made originally as well. They're not made here anymore, but where are they now, Tucker? Where are the fire pits made now?
It's now in our other distribution center. It's located like 30 minutes drive from here.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to see that tomorrow?
Yeah, we will see.
So this is our mate Tucker, and he's been to Australia a couple of times and helped us out in a few videos before. The Hexatub video,
yeah,
that was you, and talk tent video. So he's a Snow Peak specialist videographer, and
yeah,
he's the man. So yeah, it's pretty cool. This is the entry here. We've sort of come around the back way. We might just show you the entry. Yes, this is sort of the entry here. We're going to park the cars and see quite a big building. And this is the shop here. So if anybody from Australia wants to come and have a look, you know, it's not hard to find. It's on the map on Google, and anyone's welcome to come and have a look here anytime. Yeah, you've got the beautiful big shop here, and they can even organise some tours, that sort of thing, if you let us know. So yeah, we might have a quick look in the shop. Is there many people in the shop, Tuck, at the moment?
at the moment it's fine.
Yeah? Right. So we'll have a look in the shop, eh? Yeah, so it's not that big as you may expect for a company this size, but it's got a fairly good range of the products. The apparel's a really big part of it, as we talked about yesterday, that Toru's daughter Lisa's been designing, and yeah, you can see some of that here. So, yeah. This is a little lounge charcoal stove that we were sort of showing in Australia last week with the Oztent video. So what that is it's a small sort of 1.5 size barbecue box, and it's got legs on it, so it works well on a table. But quite a good price, and it's a really good size, that 1.5. This is a single barbecue box here. You can see the size of it there, and these wings fold over, and you can put your other sections over the top like that. Got a bit of a gap there for the heat, so it doesn't burn these sections. And one of our little windshields would fit in there nicely too. The 2-burner windshield would be good. So, how long have these been out for, Tucker? How long have these been out for? Just recently, wasn't it?
No, it's quite old actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was in the other set.
Yeah, in the set.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I couldn't sell it.
That's right. So this was part of another set that you couldn't buy separately before, but it's been re-released. So yeah, so we're going to get a pallet of this sent over, charcoal. Charcoal's going off in Australia, of course, and we haven't been able to get this before, but yeah, small 2 kilo boxes, really high quality charcoal. And do you know what sort of charcoal it is, Tucker? Do you know what type of charcoal? What's that? What's that? Coffee
it's
tone.
black charcoal.
Black charcoal. Yeah, right. Have you used it before?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're going to get a heap of that in. Yeah, so here's another product we're going to try to get approved for sale in Australia, the Gigatorch. So it's been redesigned as well recently. So that's a new style Gigatorch, and you know, they're an awesome product that we're trying to get approved for sale. And lifters. Somebody was asking about these the other day. These were discontinued for a while. Snapic's got such a big range, all made by very small companies around the area, and they had trouble getting these for a while, but these are a popular item in Australia that were requested a lot, and these have been re-released again, so we'll have these back in stock. That's a lifter for the micro oval, so it goes over the top of these little camp ovens. It's quite good, so yeah, so that's good, they'll be back in stock. What else is there?
Ice cooler bags left.
Yeah, these are really good. So Jake spotted this yesterday, and it's like a big tote bag. But what's unique about it is it's got a internal insulation liner. So it's got padding insulation and a wipeable liner. So we just say you live a bit out of town or on a property, and you're half an hour from town, you go to Woolies shopping, and you could just chuck an ice brick in there, and then that's going to keep all your meat and dairy sort of cold until you get home. So it's just a really nice shopping bag that you could use just for general shopping, but yeah, it's got that extra insulated section, so it's a good size, and we're going to get a heap of those sent in, so that'll be good. What else? These little stoves are really cool. I've got one of these myself, and they work great. Again, not available for sale, but we've got to try and get those approved. And what else? These lights, we might be able to get them approved. So that's it's a very small flame. What they're good for is to use up the excess or the gas in the can. So if you've sort of finished with the can and there's it's not enough left to run the stove, it'll still run this little flame for a couple of hours actually. So it's just a very small candle flame, but it just gives some nice ambience around the campfire at night. So we reckon we can get these approved, which they're pretty cool. 2-unit Polownia chopboard. Is that Polownia, Tucker? Is that Polownia material? You know?
No,
I think it's called Polownia. Yeah. It's made locally here, isn't it?
Yeah, here.
Just
like a 1 hour drive or something.
Yeah, I think I've been to that factory
Yeah.
a while ago. Oh, the sets. Let's have a look at the set. This here's a new product which is called, is it Set 250, I think? Anyway, what it is a tent and a hexatarp combination, and the price is really, really good. It's the materials doesn't have the Teflon impregnated coating or the high quality coating of the normal hexatarp pros, but it's still waterproof, and yeah, it's going to be like $700 for the whole, for both the tent, something like that. The tent and the tarp, so it's going to be an awesome price. And if you're it's designed for a beginner entry level, so if you're just getting into camping and you want to try it out, then you've got both there at a really good price. So we're going to get those in shortly as well. Yes, you're selling heaps of them in Japan, aren't you, at the moment? One of your biggest selling items. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much the store. This is the style of the Japanese tent. You've got a sleeping area and sort of a living area like this. This is a new tent as well, it's just been released. It's quite a small area there for sleeping, but it's just for 2 people is fine. And you can see you've got a really nice area here for living. And we're going to get some of these blankets. They're a Japanese woolen blanket. Looks really nice. Get some of those. This is a new product that we've got in stock, but we've had that for a little while. You can put it's like a mini iron grill table, so you can put a stove in there. Yeah, these are quite cool. Very expensive though. It's really high quality hardwood and stainless steel. But there's a cheaper version of this coming out soon as well. It was released in the 2019 catalogue, so it'll be available soon. But these are really nice. So yeah, that's pretty much the store, and we might go and have a quick walk around outside and show you the campground. No worries. Yeah, so this is the camping area, and you see lots of room. A few people camping here at the moment, but also very popular for the Snow Peak festivals and their way events, which they call, which is like the Drifta fan camping event. So Snow Peak's been doing that for a long time, and a big part of their their marketing, and they have this whole place full of campers come from all over Japan, spend the weekend camping with Snow Peak, and yeah, it's a big deal. They organise a lot of food and a lot of activities, and it's pretty amazing. I was here last year, I think, or 2 years ago, at a way event here, and this whole place, as far as you can see, is just these little Snow Peak brown tents and hexatarps. So yeah, very common tent, something like this. What tent's that, Tucker? Landlock. Yeah, we've been selling a few landlocks. The Snow Peak tents are probably one of the best quality family-sized tents in the world. I don't think there's anything that compares them really. And we haven't sold a lot before, but last year or 2 years ago, I came over here and looked at the tents and the hexatarps. That's when I realised how good the hexatarps were, because we just saw a sea of hexatarps here, and they work so good with any tent really. And we've got some of these landlocked tents in, we've been selling those. We've got some more of these coming, so very high quality fabric and poles, and it's an awesome tent. Up the end there, there's like a teepee style. Is that a Snow Peak tent?
I don't know this.
Hexatarp teepee. And yeah, lovely afternoon. So that's it, Snow Peak Campground. Alright, so we're going to have a quick look here in the headquarters, and probably tuck it down the stairs and see some more of this amazing building. Very high security clearance needed to get in here. Alright, we've got permission. Yeah, so this is where...
Yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, so this is part of the headquarters office area, and yeah, you can see a heap of different hexatarps set up. They've got the new white material, the ivory, which we're not going to get in Australia. It's okay for this colder climates, but not so good for Australian temperatures. And yeah, that's the Hexaviva Pro. And this one's pretty cool, but not sure if we'll get it in. I think it's in a big area. It's like a Hexaviva Pro with walls on it. So if anybody wants one, we could probably get it, Tucker, right? Yeah. But I think it's a little bit low for us. You know, if it's 35 degrees, heat bear down with this opaque material, that we will be able to get it in the, you know, the brown hexatarp sort of material. But I think it's a little bit low. The poles are only 2.1s, but it does have this side protection area. You know, on the normal Hexa Pros, you can't have walls at all. But this has pretty much got walls all around three sides. What about this front here? That can come down too. Yeah, so you can sort of enclose this one. So is there any reason Tucky couldn't put a 2-point higher pole, like a 2.4 pole here?
Too high.
Too high. But these walls can just come back on the bit,
Or we got more space.
Yeah, what about if you lifted this one up higher? Get it? Can these go higher? Not really. Designed like that.
Yeah.
So these poles come with it?
No. We have to purchase separately.
Yeah, right. But you could purchase a longer pole here?
Yes.
Anyway, I mean, if anybody wanted something like this, we could get one in, no worries. Yeah, as you can see, big advantage of this one is it's got these walls. But it's a big job to set up as well, a lot more time than the normal Hexatarp. Yeah, so anyway, so that's a little tour of the Snow Peak headquarters. Very lucky to be able to film in here, and everyone's hard at work, and very impressive building, impressive company, and yeah, it's been a great relationship we've had with Snow Peak for the last 6 years, and selling a lot of gear in Australia, and you know, the Australian fans, the Drifta fans are really loving the gear, and it's great to be able to come over here, you know, every year or so, and keep keep in touch and keep a good relationship going. So, all right, we're going to have Tucker's going to take us to HQ2 tomorrow, and we'll show you that as well. Thanks, buddy. Cool. Righto, we're just heading down to some accommodation. There's a really nice motel down here that Snow Peak sort of books for us when we stay here. I've stayed here a couple times before, and I think it's a 400-year-old timber guest house and on sand. It's pretty amazing. So it's a beautiful area of Japan here. This Nagata area is quite old style, a lot of farming, and yeah, I really like this part of Japan. Not too busy, and I really love the old style buildings that you get around here. Still a lot of timber buildings, and it really looks like a bit of old style Japan, or traditional Japan, which I really like. So, whereas a lot of the other, you know, the coastal places, it's all sort of modern, you know. But it's a really nice little river down here. Look at the bluff there, massive big rock, and we're just following Tucker. He's in front of us because he's got to check us in. It's you know, pretty much most people can't speak any English in Japan. You know, if you go to a coffee shop or wherever, it's surprising there's hardly anyone can speak English really. So it does help if you can speak a few words, which, you know, I can speak a little bit of Japanese, which helps. But it's difficult, and but you just got to smile and, you know, bluff your way through sometimes. And, you know, the Japanese people are such wonderful, friendly people, and extremely hospitable, and you know, so it's probably one of the safest, probably the safest country in the world to travel in, and you know, just as long as you're respectful and you know, calm, you never run into any problems, you know, really. So Google Maps works really well here. So yeah, you can just go on your phone, and we just navigate by Google Maps, and you know, bookings.com or those sort of, you know, website places, or you can get all your accommodation from those sort of places. And then you know, good idea to buy yourself a map if you want to come and travel here. Buy yourself a map of the country before you come, so you can sort of get your bearings as to where you're going, what you want to do, and do a bit of research as to where you might like to go. There's so much old history historic places, temples and things like that around. The history of Japan dates back a couple of thousand years, so it's such a cool spot to explore around. And all you need is your phone, Google Maps, and plenty of cash, because it's mostly cash here, So anyway, we'll show you around this beautiful historic motel. It's an onsen as well, a very famous onsen, which is a the Japanese bathhouse, and they're pretty cool as well. Can't film in there, but pretty busy. Righto, so here we are at the Renkiso Motel, very old traditional style motel. I think it's about 400 years old, and it's a beautiful building. It just got a bit dark on us tonight, but we'll walk around in the morning and show you a bit more. And there's not a lot of motels like this, left anymore. I suppose there is some around, but it's not easy to find them. But this is one that Snow Peak uses a lot, and I've been here a few times, and yeah, it's full on traditional. So this is the motel room here, and we're going to go down and have an onsen shortly, and then a hot spring, and then we'll have dinner. It's like about a 25-course meal for dinner. It's just an incredible meal. It's amazing. And then while we're at dinner, they'll come and move the tables and put futons down on the floor, and that's just sleep on the floor, Japanese style. So yeah, it's an amazing experience, something like this. If you can find it, there is a word for these type of motels. I don't know what it is, but this is Renkiso, and yeah, it's really cool to stay in these traditional type. If you're travelling to Japan, at least stay in one of these type of motels once. It's such a cool, different experience from a normal motel. You have tatami mats on the floor, and so again, the hot springs. Can't show you that because the traditional Japanese style is you're not allowed to wear any clothes. The men and women are separate, and it's a really big part of Japanese culture and Japanese life, the onsen. And many of the motels have got these, like a bathhouse underneath the motel or down the bottom or on the side. And if you're ever staying in a motel, if you're booking a motel, try to get one that's got an onsen attached. Most of them do, or all the good ones do, and it's so much better if it's got one, because it's such a good experience. And you basically go down and you've got to sit in a little chair and have a shower, get yourself perfectly clean, and then you've got a little towel to cover yourself, and you just walk around getting the different baths. And Japanese, they work extremely hard, and they're probably pretty stressed out people, really. They're worrying about everything, and they've just, stressful life. But the key to a lot of their success, and especially the businessmen, is the onsen, because they go there and relax, and they just sit in the bath, water up to your neck. It's very hot, 40 degrees, and totally relax. And when you get stressed in business, that stress builds up and builds up and builds up, and over years or whatever, it can cause all sorts of issues. But learning how to relax is a really important part of business when you get to a level where the stress and the pressure really starts to build up and affect you. And learning to relax is a key part of managing with that. And one of the secrets the Japanese have had in business is the onsen, which they can just learn to totally relax and unwind and refresh and reset. And yeah, shame you can't show you, of course no one's got any clothes on, so you can't film it, but it's a pretty cool experience. So if you're ever in Japan, make sure you go and try out an onsen. There's a few rules that you've got to sort of follow. The main one is you make sure you sit in a little chair and wash yourself thoroughly, get all the soap off before you get in the bath. Basically, that's it, and then just be quiet and calm and don't bother anybody else. But yeah, it's a really unique experience that there's not many places in the world that does it like the Japanese do. So anyway, got me old Drifta stubby over here, and having a beer with Jake, and going to have a naked bath with him next.
Alright.
Wait, that's not good for me now. Gotta get on there at least once.
Yeah.
So Jake, what do you reckon, mate?
Hey, so far, awesome trip. I arrived 2 days earlier in Tokyo to have a look around the city a bit. Was totally jet lagged, so at 2 in the morning I just walked around the city. I got hungry, went into a sushi bar, it was full of people at 2 o'clock at night. Had perfect sushi, and next day I walked around the city, visited all the nice parks, and yeah, it was a great day. And now we're traveling. You know, we had a sake factory tour today. It was nice. You know, learn about their wine, and yeah, we walked around Snow Peak headquarters. So perfect so far. And then yeah, tomorrow we're going to see some factory tours. So it will be great to see how they produce some of the products here. And
Gonna see a solid steak.
solid steak. Yeah.
That's gonna be really cool.
All right.
Yeah, righto, so just going to check out and head off to HQ2. Got to meet Tucker there and Yuri, and I've been there once before when it first opened last year, but Jake hasn't been there, and that's a new big dispatch facility, so have a good look around that. And yeah, so had a good night last night. This incredible place here. There's not many places like this left in Japan, and yeah, it's beautiful traditional accommodation, so Jake's just going to have a quick walk around and show you about. But, yeah, it's amazing. So if you're ever in this part of the world, Niigata, you need to come and stay here. continued it for the last 30 years or so, and grown into a very famous and impressive company. Oh, shit. A little bit with a bit more space.
Okay.
Grown into it. That'll be funny. That was a good save, actually.